everybody! As we all know, Deltarune is tomorrow! Woohoo! The funny dog appeared on the Nintendo Direct, and we were all very calm about it. We were definitely not shouting like lunatics, and we were all very normal people. Do not fact check me on this.
Let's see some more headlines.
Yes! Deltarune, come on!
Please,
Wait, actually?
Please.
I saw the black background and I was...
Please,
The dog's real! Anyways, I just kinda wanted to make this video, like a final video, before Chapter 5 actually releases, so I can make like a compilation of my thoughts that I think will happen in the future of Deltarune. Not just Chapter 5, Chapter 6 and 7 as well. I'm gonna get quoted on this, aren't I? 6, 7, haha, funny. Anyways, yeah. I do not have a script for this video. I am just rambling on the mic, so sorry if it's a little unorganized and a little weird, but this is what I have. And this is also the first time I'm making like a video-y type of video, so that is also an added bonus. This is definitely not gonna go very wrong. You can believe in me. You can trust me. Anyways, so my first talking point: the shelter codes. The shelter, as we all know, is a very important place in Deltarune. Undyne got kidnapped by the knight, and that's where she's being held. Probably Gaster stuff as well, but we don't really have anything on that at the moment. Anyways, the shelter requires 3 codes to be entered. The Pinecone Tree Code, the Police Badge Code, and the Deltarune Code. So, first of all, I'm gonna start with the one we know most about, the Pine Tree. We have already the first 3 numbers of the code from Dess's guitar, that being 1, 2, 2. We can pretty confidently guess it is 1225 because Des, but the characters in-game don't actually know this at the moment, so that has to be a plot point somewhere. So, I believe this will either be, like, Noelle either knowing it already, or her, like, pattern recognizing it to be 1225 because Des is her sister. Or we actually sneaking back into the holiday mansion either during the festival or maybe during even the roaring. We don't know when we're actually gonna enter the shelter, so it's very plausible that we might just get the roaring before we even do that. So, and yeah, the chaos from that would be perfect to sneak in the house. Anyways, the second code, the police badge code, we can pretty confidently say is held by Asgore, because who else would it have it? Undyne is at the bunker, and I don't think Napstablook has anything to do with the shelter, if I'm being honest, even though it'd be hilarious. And yeah, so this will probably be in Chapter 5, most likely, and we will get it from Asgore. And for the last code, the most, like, mysterious code, the Deltarune code. The Deltarune, if you don't know, is, outside of the name of the game, is the religion of Hometown. But we actually already went to the church, and we don't have the code. So, I don't really know where else we could get it. Like, I guess Alvin could give it to us, but I don't really see Alvin fitting into Chapter 5. And I don't understand when else we get it if it's not Chapter 5, because like we don't have that much of the game left, honestly. We have 5, 6, and 7. We have 3 chapters left, and in those 3 chapters we have to deal with the roaring, the shelter, Gaster, Friend, Titans, everything, the night, and we can't really fit that all in Chapter 6 and 7. So I really think that more stuff than just going to the flower shop needs to happen in Chapter 5, and it will be most likely either the roaring or the shelter. Like, we probably need at least 1, like, definitely 1, maybe even 2 codes in Chapter 5. And yeah, I don't really understand when else we get the Deltarune code. I think it's just really mysterious to me. But that's all I have. As I said, I'm not theorizing anything here, I'm just rambling. So yeah, sorry if you're gonna be a little on a cliffhanger of sorts, but I don't actually have anything to theorize about here. You're just gonna be left alone with that thought. Anyways, my second talking point, the Chapter 5 weird route. As we all know, there is an alternative route we can get to in Deltarune Chapter 2, kind of like an equivalent to the Undertale Genocide route, where we force Noelle to do horrible things, because we paid $20 for the game. Anyways, some of you might not know, because it is kind of like a not in-game stated thing. It is from the Spams and Sweepstakes, but we actually got some Weird Route content from the Spams and Sweepstakes. That being the Deltarune.com/chapter5 website. In that website, we have 5 numbers, 1 through 5. 1 and 3 are invisible, and they are all in varying sizes. The 1 is invisible and very small, mostly because, well, we don't really have anything to do with the Weird Route in Chapter 1. Chapter 2 is obviously the biggest, because that is where you initiate the Weird Route. Chapter 3 is also as big as Chapter 2, but it is invisible. I believe this is because, well, the Chapter 3 Sword Route is kind of like a tutorial, like something leading you to do the Weird Route. I think that's why it is as big as Chapter 2, because it's actually leading you to start the Weird Route, but it's invisible, because it's not actually needed to progress the Weird Route. Now, Chapter 4 is pretty small. It is the smallest one after Chapter 1, because we don't actually get too much Weird Route content in it. I mean, we get the whole Noel thing, that I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still pretty major, but not as much as Chapter 2. And then the Chapter 5. Chapter 5 is the second biggest after Chapter 2 and 3, and it is where I most likely believe where the Weird Route either ends, like completely ends, like the game is over, or we permanently get locked into it, like we just cannot quit out of it anymore. We're stuck in that route. In Chapter 5, we already have a kind of a leak. I guess we couldn't count this as a leak because it is official, I guess, but not in the trailer image of Chapter 5, which is depicting the festival from Go Nintendo. I'll put it on the screen right now. Yeah, we already have footage of the festival, and Noelle is in the festival. And most likely, even if we don't get her in the normal route, we will definitely get her in the Dark World in the Weird Route, because, like, we put the Torn Ring on her in Chapter 4, and she kind of has to use it. And I think this is where we actually fully take over her, like, we fully implement the soul in her, we just fully use her as a vessel. I also believe that in the Weird Route, she will probably start to replace some party members. I feel like it is not really gonna be easy to do it if Rose and Susie are around, so I think she will replace Rose and Susie for pretty major parts of the game. Anyways, as I said, again, I don't really actually have any theories. I do believe that Noelle will become the vessel for us. We will take over Noelle. And the Sword Route does foreshadow us fighting Iram, whatever that corresponds to in the actual game. But other than that, we don't actually have a lot of clues on what would happen afterwards. Anyways, now it is part of the video where I am on copium, because Woody Theory 2! Woohoo! You have to believe me. You gotta believe me. Friend inside me is real. It exists, and you have to believe me. I am running on nothing but copium, but you have to believe me. Friend inside me is real. The 2, well, 1.5 basically, proof I have for Woody existing is, first of all, the actual proof. I didn't come up with the theory. The Woody Theory 2 by SpookyDood. I really like this theory, even though it is a little crackpotty. It still has some, like, standing ground, so I'll just leave that in the description. That'll be a link in the description, you can go watch it. It's a very good video, I like it. But yeah, that is my main starting point. And then the other one is the fact that there's mountains in the trailer. There's like, kind of like westerny, deserty, rocky mountains in the trailer. And maybe that's like foreshadowing to like a cowboy area for Woody to appear in. I don't know, man, I'm just grasping at straws. But hey, it could happen, who knows? Woody Theory might be, I mean, it's releasing like basically the same week as Toy Story 5. Like they're both 5, I guess, like Chapter 5, Toy Story 5. I don't know, man. Please let it be real. I want friends inside me. Anyways, speaking of friend, my next talking point is friend. I don't really, actually not just me, we don't really know what friend is. It is presumably a cat, maybe? Like, that is kind of hinted at from, like, Pluie and Chapter 4 Egg Room, but, like, we don't really know much about friend other than that. Anyways, I have a theory. I'm not sure how much I believe in it myself, but first of all, I just want to make this clear. I am a Des Knight Truther. I believe Des is the knight, but I don't actually think Des is the knight. I think the knight is using Des's body to become the knight, but the will of the knight is not of Des's. It is either like some sort of Gastery shenanigan, maybe just like the force of darkness taking over her, I don't know. Or I think maybe Friend has taken over Des's body to become the knight. Cause like, looking at the knight's characteristics, it's like really playful. It laughs at us so many times. It directly laughs at Susie's face so many times. It's very playful, it's very sinister. And I think it is kind of like giving Cheshire Cat energy a little bit. And, well, Cheshire Cat, Friend, does what we know of Friend. But yeah, I believe that Des in the bunker got lost, and Friend was in there, and Friend kind of like took over Des's body. And that's why Des is in the code. Des can't actually feel anything, Des can't see anything. Her body is just being used by Friend. Also, the knight has a lot of, like, grin symbology. Like, the knight's visor kind of looks like a grin. Actually, not just looks like it. In the Chapter 3 icon, originally, there is the smile that Tenna gives at the end of Chapter 2. But after you beat the game, after you beat Chapter 3, that smile turns into the knight's visor. And I think this is just building, like, parallels between the knight's visor and, like, grins and laughing. And, like, the only time we ever see Friend is them laughing. I think it's just a parallel between Friend and the knight, and it's just hinting at the fact that knight is probably under the control of Friend. Now, I just wanted to go analyze the trailer a little bit. Now, this is not gonna sound original at all, but the little quill white feather we can see in the trailer is what I believe to be the white pen of hope that Gerson mentions in his fight in Chapter 4. Now, this might not actually be, like, an actual pen of hope. Maybe it doesn't do anything, maybe it's just, like, a fake created by the will of Susie. Maybe it just exists because Susie wanted it to exist. Maybe it's like a bait to lure in Susie. Or maybe it is just the pen of hope, and maybe it's like a super weapon that lets us kill fucking titans, I don't know. But yeah, I don't really know what else it would be other than it's meant to represent the white pen of hope. Because like, it's a quill, it's white, it's glowing. Like, what else would it be other than the white pen of hope? Anyways, the other really interesting thing about the trailer is the Omega Flavi attack pattern that the Omega Flavi fight uses during the Cyan Soul attacks, the toy knife attack. Now, there's a lot of things this could be. A lot of people have theorized about this. Most consensus is that it is probably gonna be the Cyan, the Patience Flower from Asgore's shop, turned into a Darkner. But we don't actually see the attacker here. There is no... Chris isn't fighting anyone here. It is just Chris, the soul, and the bullets. There is nothing else. There is no other party members, which is also really weird. Why is this a solo fight? And there is no enemy. So, what another alternative I've come up with is this is actually us fighting Chris. Like, this is Chris, this attack. Because Chris is blue. And not just any blue, they're cyan. And they're also probably the cyan, the Patience Soul from Undertale's parallel in Deltarune. Because like, most characters in Undertale are parallels to ones in Deltarune. They exist in both universes. But the other humans, where are the other fallen humans? Well, I believe that this is the time where the first human after Kara fell into the underground, the Patient's soul. Because we know, like, from the item placement, that Patient's soul was probably the first human to fall in the underground. And I believe that Chris is the Patient's soul of Deltarune. And if Chris is the Patient's soul, which has a lot of evidence to back it up, Chris has a weird obsession with knives, which the Patient's soul had a toy knife, which would probably make a lot of sense. And if it is Chris, then who else would use the Patient's soul attacks other than Chris? I think either the reason why Chris is solo in this fight is because this fight is meant to like reflect upon Chris of what they are, or this is just us directly fighting Chris. Anyways, I'm kinda out of things to talk about, so that was it. Thank you so much if you watched it all the way through here. If you notice, it's a little bit late. Deltarune is literally tomorrow. This is because I was literally in the trenches while editing this video. It was painful, but if you watched this part, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. And, well, see y'all tomorrow!